I've seen a lot of cars come and go, but I never imagined a day when you couldn't buy a new BMW, Mercedes, or Audi in America. These brands weren't just cars, they were icons of engineering, luxury, and aspiration. For decades, they set the standard, pushing everyone to innovate and improve. Their exit isn't just about empty showrooms, it's a seismic shift for American car culture and industry. This story is about more than just car enthusiasts. It's about jobs, global politics, and the future of the American auto industry. The three-pointed star, the four rings, the blue and white roundel, these were dreams people worked toward. Their departure leaves a hole in the market and in the heart of the automotive world. It all started with a single powerful decision, a policy that rippled through factories, dealerships, and families across the country. A political move in Washington led to layoffs in South Carolina, shuttered dealerships in California, and uncertainty for families in Ohio. We take for granted that we can buy cars from anywhere, but that can change overnight. The story of why these brands left is a cautionary tale about policy, economics, and real-world consequences. So let's pop the hood and see what really happened. This wasn't a sudden breakdown, it was a slow, painful engine seizure. It started with politics, moved to economics, and ended with empty parking lots and unanswered questions. We'll walk through how a simple tariff turned into a full-blown crisis, impacting not just German automakers but American companies and workers too. It's a complicated story, but one we all need to understand because what happened to them could happen to anyone, and it changes the road ahead for all of us. What set this all in motion? A 25% tariff on imported cars and parts. The idea, make imports pricier to boost American-made sales. But in today's global auto industry, it's like using a sledgehammer for surgery. For German automakers, this was a bombshell. Imagine selling a $50,000 car. Overnight, it costs $62,500 with the tariff. Absorb the cost and lose money, or pass it on and lose customers. No good options. The tariff hit not just finished cars, but parts too. Modern cars are global products. A BMW built in South Carolina might have an engine from Austria, electronics from Asia. Taxing every imported component made even American-assembled cars more expensive. The policy meant to shield American industry ended up hurting companies deeply embedded in the U.S. economy. These brands weren't just shipping cars, they were building them here, employing Americans, buying from U.S. suppliers. The tariff didn't distinguish between a car from Germany and a part for a factory in Alabama. It was a blunt instrument, and it was about to do real damage to the finely tuned engine of global manufacturing. The fallout was just beginning. A modern car factory is like a symphony. Thousands of parts, perfectly timed. The tariff threw a wrench into this system, disrupting the just-in-time manufacturing process. Suddenly, critical parts were delayed at ports, tangled in paperwork, and slapped with new taxes. Assembly lines in places like Spartanburg, South Carolina sat idle, costing millions each day. It wasn't just the tariffs. New administrative costs, storage fees, and legal headaches piled up. Companies had to hire teams just to navigate the new rules. Missing a single $10 sensor could halt production, leaving thousands of workers idle. The ripple effects were enormous. Do you find new suppliers overnight? Not likely. These parts are designed to work together, and switching takes years. Stockpiling parts defeats the efficiency of just-in-time manufacturing and adds huge costs. Every solution was a bad one. The supply chain, once their greatest strength, became their biggest headache. Costs soared, efficiency plummeted, and the system bled money day by day. The finely tuned orchestra was now out of sync, and the music had stopped. The damage was spreading fast. In business, the numbers have to work. For German luxury brands, the math in America stopped making sense. Absorbing the tariff wiped out profits. Passing it on killed sales. A $50,000 car with a $12,500 tariff meant losing money on every sale. No company can survive that. Prices soared, sales plummeted, and loyal customers looked elsewhere. Lexus, Genesis, Cadillac. The Germans were priced out of their own market. Lower sales meant less revenue, less investment in U.S. operations, and struggling dealerships. Huge incentives only deepened the losses. The American market, once a golden goose, became a financial black hole. Executives in Germany faced a hard truth: billions invested but no path to profit. Staying would risk the entire company. The decision to withdraw was painful but inevitable. The numbers didn't lie. The era of German luxury in America was over. Behind every corporate decision are real people. The withdrawal of BMW, Mercedes, and Audi meant tens of thousands of American workers lost their jobs. at factories, dealerships, and suppliers. Plants in South Carolina and Alabama were economic anchors. Their closure devastated communities. Dealerships, often family-owned, shut down, taking local jobs and business with them. The ripple effect hit truck drivers, suppliers, cleaning crews, and local diners. Entire towns built around these automotive hubs saw their foundations crumble. This is the human cost, families struggling to pay mortgages and put food on the table. Economic policies aren't just numbers, they're about people's lives and pride in their work. A decision in a distant boardroom left Main Street America reeling, the legacy, unemployment, uncertainty, and communities searching for a new identity. Here's the irony. The tariffs meant to help American car companies ended up hurting them too. U.S. automakers rely on global supply chains. A Ford F-150 is filled with parts from around the world. Tariffs on imported parts drove up costs for American manufacturers. They faced the same choice: absorb costs or raise prices and risk losing customers. German brands were also major customers for American suppliers. Those contracts vanished. The policy designed to protect American jobs destroyed them in the supply chain. With the Germans gone, competition shrank and innovation slowed. Less pressure meant less incentive for American brands to push technology and quality. The result: higher costs, a weaker supply base, and less competition. Instead of strengthening the domestic market, tariffs weakened the entire ecosystem. It was a painful lesson in how interconnected the industry really is. Good intentions, disastrous results. While America struggled, China seized the opportunity. German automakers redirected billions from the US to China, where the government welcomed them with open arms. They built new factories, developed models for Chinese tastes, and integrated deeply into China's auto industry. China quickly became their most important market. Surpassing the US, Chinese companies gained access to world-class technology and manufacturing through joint ventures. Soon, Chinese brands were producing high-quality vehicles, especially in electric cars. German investment accelerated China's rise as a global automotive powerhouse. Meanwhile, US-Europe relations soured, and Europe turned toward China. America's attempt to protect its industry ended up fueling its biggest rival. While America built walls, China built bridges and new car factories. Looking back, the story is one of unintended consequences. The goal was to bring jobs back and strengthen US industry. The result was factory closures, lost jobs, and a less competitive market. The American car landscape shrank, with fewer choices and less innovation. The biggest unintended consequence: handing a strategic advantage to China. German expertise and investment flowed east, accelerating China's rise in electric vehicles. America tried to reshore jobs, but offshored the industry's future. The lesson in a global economy: you can't bully your way to prosperity. Trade isn't zero-sum. Relationships are complex and delicate. Disrupt them, and things break in unexpected, damaging ways. The road to a stronger economy is paved with innovation and smart policy, not tariffs and trade wars. We need to learn from this detour. So what's next? With German luxury brands gone, can American companies fill the void? Cadillac and Lincoln have a shot to reclaim the luxury market, but only if they innovate and match the quality buyers expect. Meanwhile, Chinese brands are rising fast, especially in electric vehicles. Will we see BYD or NIO in American driveways soon? This is a wake-up call. We must invest in technology, train our workforce, and foster innovation. The future of American manufacturing depends on it. Are we ready for the next chapter? Can American brands step up, or will new players take the lead? Let's keep the conversation going, because the cars we drive say a lot about where we're headed.